Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, SpaceX and Blue Origin are tweeting new successes. NBAA and AOPA join the fight for Santa Monica Airport again. The A330neo reaches a production milestone. I'm Bree Cross. It's September 29th, 2016, and this is Airborne Unlimited. It looks like the concept of presidential candidates taking swipes at each other on Twitter has caught on, and it's moved over to the private spaceflight industry. The rocket motor that Elon Musk hopes will power missions to Mars was test-fired last Sunday at their facility in McGregor, Texas. Musk posted images of the test firing on Twitter as well as some of the specifics for the engine. The Raptor engine was first introduced 4 years ago and is intended to be a multi-stage engine that could eventually boost people and material to Mars. It is also planned to be reusable to reduce the cost of those missions. In something of a Twitter skirmish, Jeff Bezos then tweeted out images of a model of their New Glenn two-stage rocket being developed by Blue Origin. The images were taken in a wind tunnel, according to the UK newspaper The Daily Mail. Bezos, the founder of Blue Origin, said testing of the scale model of the rocket, which would be second in size only to the Saturn V, has been going on for 3 weeks and all is well. Two national aviation associations have filed a motion to intervene in the legal dispute between the City of Santa Monica and the FAA over control of the Santa Monica Airport. Here's another quick review regarding the City of Santa Monica's attempt to close their airport. As it stands today, the FAA says the airport must remain in operation until the year 2023. Santa Monica has now responded by terminating 2 fixed-base operator contracts, and it's alleged the city will now be the proprietary FBO and provide substandard service to drive business from the airport. It's reported that one of the FBOs has filed a petition with the FAA about the unfair business practices of the city. In papers filed in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the NBAA and AOPA say that as complainants in this issue, they have substantial interest in the outcome of this petition and seek to protect these interests by continuing to engage the claims of the petitioner. AOPA and NBAA acted on behalf of their numerous members who are located at and or utilize the Santa Monica Airport that will be impacted negatively by the recent actions of the city. After the break, the A330neo gets its wings.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight 4-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, our website or podcast, just email to news-spy@aero-news.net. Airbus has commenced the final assembly of its first A330neo, which is the A330-900 model at its final assembly line in Toulouse, France, with the joining of the wings to the center fuselage section. Both the A330-800 and the A330-900 feature a new A350-inspired wing with sharklet wingtip devices for state-of-the-art aerodynamics, and the aircraft incorporates the latest generation Rolls-Royce Trent 7000 engines. The A330-800 and the A330-900 are 99% common, sharing a 95% commonality across the entire A330 fleet to optimize cost and flexibility for all its operators. To date, 10 customers have ordered a total of 186 A330neos. It's Thursday, which means that it's time for an Aero-Community update. But this week, rather than talk about an individual partner, we're letting all of our partners and followers of Aero-News and Airborne Unlimited know that our plans to expand our coverage are already set in motion. We have 3 major events coming up in the next few months, and our crews will be there to provide on-the-spot video coverage of all the events, the people, and all that's new and innovative. Let's start off with the NBAA's Business Aviation Convention and Exhibition. On November 1st through the 3rd, we'll be joining 27,000 industry professionals for the most important 3 days of business aviation. This event is ranked as the 6th largest trade show in the United States and is being held this year in Orlando, Florida. Our video crew will document what's going on, we'll visit with key people, and we'll take a look at what's new and exciting. We'll be moving so fast it'll be hard to tell which way is up, but our next event is the first ever sport aviation showcase being held at the DeLand Airport Sport Aviation Village in DeLand, Florida. All this takes place on November 3rd through the 5th, and it's the first time the Sport Aviation Village will be hosting an event aimed at recreational aviation. And to start it all off, we get a chance to take a deep breath before following the Redbird migration to San Marcos, Texas. This event takes place October 24th through the 26th. The migration has become the leading conference for flight training professionals, and this year promises to be even better. Like always, if you can't be there, we'll bring it to you. Aero-News and Airborne Unlimited are expanding, and we invite you to come along for the ride. After these messages, Inuit Airlines brings a woman pilot on board.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
The Bristol Light Sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristol is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristol.com to find out how you can get into a Bristol today.
Welcome back. With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. About 300 people were on hand to welcome Melissa Haney when she arrived at the Inuit, Quebec airport last week. Haney has become one of only 14 Inuit pilots flying for Air Inuit and is the first woman to earn that title. The NTSB released its preliminary report for the off-field landing of a de Havilland Vampire jet at the Reno air races. The report confirms that an engine failure during a practice run resulted in the aircraft being unable to reach the airport. The pilot was not injured. Several people were injured at a Boy Scout event last week in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as helicopter Rotorwash raised havoc. It swamped several canoes that were in the water, and others were blown into the crowd that was waiting for the VIP arrival. 2 Q400 turboprop airliners have been delivered to the Tanzanian government flight agency by Bombardier. The aircraft will be operated by Air Tanzania, the national airline of the United Republic of Tanzania. Kansas Governor Sam Brownback declared all of September Aviation Appreciation Month. Kansas has a rich aviation history, and general aviation and community airports contribute over $13.5 billion annually to the state's economy. Kansas is home to approximately 140 public use airports. Well, that's a trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. The president of Iowa State University will no longer be using an airplane owned by the school for trips that mix personal and school business. As was reported earlier this week in Aero-News, Iowa State University President Stephen Leith was flying the university's Cirrus SR-22 on a trip to North Carolina for both school and personal business. While landing in Bloomington, Illinois, he experienced a hard landing because of what he described as a microburst. The impact caused about $12,000 worth of damage to the airplane. According to the Associated Press, the repairs went largely unreported for more than a year. Now he has said he will no longer pilot the airplane, even though he went, quote, above and beyond what is required by university policy for reimbursement for use of the airplane. He recently wrote a check to the scholarship fund for $15,000. He said he would stop flying the airplane to allay any future concerns. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.